We are going to move forward a little bit ahead in the agenda. We're going to go to our 9:06 a.m. item, presentation of proclamation, our 9:07 a.m. item, presentation of proclamation designating the week of April 14th through 20th, 2024 as National Public Safety Dispatchers Week.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No 626?
Now we're going to get back to that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right, I'm really glad to be able to read this proclamation, and the reason why, if you don't know, within the last year, we've had a really hard time and a struggle getting people to do the job of dispatch. It's been a very difficult time recruiting and whatnot, but the sheriff, along with the board and administration and human resources and the unions have worked together to try to figure out a solution for that. And so here we are. We're going to designate this week of April 14th through 20th, 2024 as National Public Safety Dispatchers Week. If we don't have dispatchers, the deputies have to do it, and then there's no one on the streets to patrol. So that's another reason why I like reading this, and I'm glad to be able to read it. So, whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require law enforcement, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of law enforcement officers, firefighters, and emergency medical professionals is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our law enforcement officers and fire personnel is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who contact the Lake County Central Dispatch Center. And whereas public safety dispatchers are the first and can be the most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services and provide the vital link for our law enforcement officers and fire personnel by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them with information and ensuring their safety. And whereas the public safety dispatchers of the Lake County Sheriff's Office have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, treatment of patients by exhibiting compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Lake does hereby designate the week of April 14th through 20th, 2024 as National Public Safety Dispatchers Week in Lake County and encourages all citizens to join in recognizing the commitment of public safety dispatchers in our communities to preserve the safety of us all. Passed and adopted this 16th day of April 2024, signed Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Bruno Sabatier.
Good morning. I'm Lake County Sheriff Rob Howe. First, I'd like to thank the board for the proclamation. As Supervisor Crandall mentioned, we've had some staffing issues in the past. Still exist, improved tremendously, but most of our dispatchers are either working or asleep, so you get Lieutenant Wells and I today, who manages dispatch. Again, just a thank you to dispatchers locally, statewide, and nationwide, but of course, we're in Lake County, so I'd like to thank our dispatchers especially. I developed a lot of respect for our dispatchers early on in my training, a lot of years ago when I first started. I spent time in dispatch, and I remember thinking, I'm really glad that I signed up as a deputy because I couldn't do this. I wouldn't be good enough. If you can imagine taking phone call after phone call, dealing with people on their hardest, worst days, panicked, afraid, scared, mad. They make sense of that, get that information out to first responders to help people. They do it all while entering it into a computer, and they do it 24/7, holidays, nights. It's incredible what they do. They deserve a lot of appreciation. They have that from me, and I know they have it from you, so thank you.
Anyone else have words? I will add to this real quick, and you can't leave without a picture. What I appreciate is the relationship that's needed between officers and dispatcher. Having a voice that you know and having a voice you recognize and knowing how to speak to each individual officer is important. In the past, there's been conversations, at least when I was in Clear Lake, Do we look to moving our dispatcher somewhere else or not? But that personal relationship matters a lot, and the ability to speak to all of the public that calls in, like you said, with emotions completely at a high, being able to know and understand how to have that interpersonal communication to really get to where they need to be so that they can get the right information and pass that on. It is not an easy job, but I absolutely appreciate it and know that they are absolutely a part of the team and helping our officers out there to be safe and to do their job.
Absolutely, Supervisor Sabatier, and I can tell you as a patrolman from way back, they're our security blanket. When we get to work and we know who's behind that console, it's just reassuring and gives us confidence, and they are so vital. But you're right. Thank you.
Picture time.